Like it's the transfer switch, really there ain't nothing you're gonna really play with. Especially you don't want to be inside it or any of that. What I would do is this screen's gonna be always on. I would look and just make sure that there's no blinking alarms. So that's what our problem was when we were with our initial stuff was it was saying that phase rotation was wrong. So it wouldn't let us into doing any kind of testing or anything. I had to get into that, but I couldn't open it up. It wouldn't let me go. It had a glitch for some reason. But once I got in there and I programmed it to be reverse phase, everything cleared up. So that would be the only things that there would be an alarm on the generator side or an alarm on the utility side, and it'll just be flashing. You can.
So it's like the whole thing is flashing, or just that?
It just got. It'll just be a little.
It'd be an exclamation point that you couldn't miss. It would just be a little red exclamation point that would flash.
And just walking past it, you'll see it. It's got an alarm because it'll be blinking on you. Okay. And I mean, you can hit up your timers or the alarms and see, but there's nothing there right now, so it's not going to do anything.
Okay.
Right now, it's still unlocked because I unlocked it, but it'll lock itself in probably another 5 minutes.
So where no one can go screwing with it, yeah.
Okay. So, never mind. So does that mean that it's tied right now? The utility line?
This is utility right now. It's locked. You don't cross yet. It's open because generator's not running. And if the generator is running and there is utility, it's not going to transfer. It'll still stay that way open unless you physically go into change mode and you can hit it and
which should be no reason for
that. You shouldn't have to do any of that.
I was going to say, is there a use case for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a way to get a report if there was a failover, a report of the timing of the...
Yeah, if you go into show all active timers, it'll bring on there and tell you what's wrong.
The whole history.
And it'll tell you what time it happened at and all that. The events will be all there. It's not there now because I cleared them all.
Okay. So does AMS have access to that then?
For admin use?
Yeah, you guys.
We've got admin passwords and login that you guys are going to get with the closeout documents. It's admin and then the passwords pass. So we'll provide all of that to you guys so you've got accessibility. But again, yeah, I think we could change it. We could change it.
You can change it, but remember you got to remember it because otherwise.
We could
can't put in an email address and get it back? No.
Well, the problem is I usually can still be able to get in with our password, but a lot of times it won't let us in. And then to change your password again, it won't let us do that.
So we're going to have you guys or somebody else come out. We're going to make sure you've got the actual password.
Correct.
Okay, so so when it does fail and that thing's got to kick on, how long does it take and when do I get worried if it doesn't come on?
About 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we counted at too, about 25 seconds from power off to start to back online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what'll happen if there's an issue here besides just the alarm? Do I hear anything? Do I get an email or?
Well, I don't know how you guys are set up on that for the generator. I didn't see anything else unique inside the controller, so you just have the alarms that you'll be hearing off the generator.
Okay.
So we'll take a walk over there, and you got the
enunciator inside, which will be what you guys hear. Is the enunciator inside to give you guys that notification? Yeah, absolutely. Which that would be the more beneficial one is to go walk through that because that's going to be the notification that they actually pick up. They won't hear the one in the generator.
Yeah, unless you're a parking bar.
Correct. But let's go walk through the enunciator, go through that aspect of it, and then we can kind of just set them off on that page. But I don't think that there's too much more on this front that really needs to be talked through.
No.
So if we do like a monthly testing of the generator, how does that procedure work?
Well, the best way to do a test is by shutting the main off. That's your best test. From just there's a couple reasons for that. You're physically actually using the breaker. So if you don't touch that breaker in 3 years, and then you guys decide to shut it off, it might not come back on. Because all the moisture and everything gets screwed up. But it's good to exercise those. But that's your best bet and best way to test your system.
Wow. Which that'll be discussed at 3:00 on our maintenance call.
Okay.
So what do they recommend as far as testing? Is it monthly?
They gave a
Quarterly?
they recommend monthly. They do monthly or quarterly is what they recommend, and so those are the two options that I think we're going to be talking through this afternoon.
And you can do it by the screen here too. You can transfer it all by the screen, but you know, you're just exercising this guy, not physically testing it the right way.
So do we
And
have
dropping
access
power
to
to
the
them.
main breaker?
Yeah, I believe we've got that key. We're keeping those keys. They're in the main electrical room. Correct. So then, yes.
Go that route, test it, see what risk there is to the actual facility. So, okay, if we were going to test it through this, let's say doing that was too much of a risk to like our reagents and our tests going on. How do we test it using just this?
Well, with your passcode when you're in, and I'm still unlocked, so that's good.
Okay.
So you just hit that change mode, and then you'll have an unload test or offload test, so you can start the generator without physically transferring this. And that's that. So once you hit the button, it's going to go through its motions, and then it'll fire up and do its test.
All right. So with the offload test, how would I know that the generator is working the way it should? It just doesn't pop up any alarms or anything like that.
No, if you just hit offload test, it's just going to start the generator.
Okay.
And then on the screen itself here, you'll see the generator running, and your voltages, they'll be all here. So you'll know if it's producing voltage. It'll shut off if it's not producing voltage, but if the breaker's off and they're tripped, you won't have no voltage here.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's really all I can tell you on that.
Okay. And then, is there anything else on here that I want to watch for when I'm testing that'll tell me besides just the alarms and the the zero voltage and all that stuff?
Those are
really about
those
it.
are the key.
Power and output.
That's it.
Okay.
Cool. Everyone, head over to the Annunciator, go through that end of it, and
Yeah.
yeah.